Welcome to Heroic Round, an actual play TTRPG podcast. Join me and my three best friends as we journey through Dungeons, Dragons, and dubious decisions. Grab your dice. We're here to live heroic and die historic.
I'm sure you must be famished from your journey. Let's have something to eat. You see that you're in the stone chapel, and every Silent Brother is in attendance, and the energy of the hall is electric. It is clear that they haven't had a lot of visitors, or that when they do have visitors, they have a chance to be around those who are speaking. They just want to be there. Okay. The pews are cleared and stacked on the sides of the road or sides of the room, and fruit tables and food is brought and started to be set up. You can see that they all seem to work together really quickly and ably, like they do this often, to bring this room into like an eating type place or a mess hall. And you can see that they communicate pretty deftly, just using their hands and nods and even some mouth things to each other and that sort of things, to be able to communicate. All right. Now, roll your knowledge of religion. Let's see how well you paid attention in seminary.
I don't have it.
You don't have it. You're a part of the Holy Thrust, and you don't even have.
I
Knowledge
also
religion.
don't have knowledge religion.
Oh, that's
Well,
weird.
luckily,
you
I
friggin'
got-
scientist.
I got a-
All I meant was ask Flavius for his
Okay.
knowledge religion.
23.
23.
Good job. That'll do for all of us.
I do have knowledge in local, though.
23 could buy beer. That's great. Okay. You notice, a couple of things stand out to you about this quaint church.
Mm-hmm.
One is that on the altar, which is styled with three pillars, which makes a lot of sense to you as a member of the threefold, the church
Right.
of the threefold quest. You see on the altar, there is a book, an old tome that has been chained down to the altar. And when I mean chained down, I don't just mean like chained to it so it can't be taken away like a pen at the bank. I mean like chained closed on the altar. You also notice, which is very common in chapels of questionism, is that there is a dual throne that is seated at like kind of back behind the altar. And it's very similar to when you were speaking to Eminence Chasen. Remember how he sat back to back
Right.
with his worm wife? they were back to back on the same raised dais. There's a dual throne here, though far less opulent
Right.
in this chapel. And again, just a representation of Mother, Father above. Okay. Now, they bring out, it looks like some honeycomb and pancakes, and they even throw butter on the table.
Hell yeah.
There's a fruit salad that is apricots and grapes and pears and mint. It's tossed in some sort of wine. And then there's honey mead to drink. And they start to, put all these things out. You see the Prior Dorian sits close to you, and there is a line, a queue that forms next to him. And it's sort of getting later in the day, maybe towards the golden hour, not quite, but getting towards the golden hour. And you can see a queue that forms, and there's like an eagerness and an excitement. They're all like waiting in line by Father Dorian. And you see that he turns to you and has kind of he seems maybe a little shy or hesitant to ask, but he's like, the brothers, when there are visitors such as yourselves, have questions. They would love if you'd be willing to take some questions from them so they could ask you some things. Would you please allow us?
Yeah, I'd say they can ask, but only if we can ask questions back.
Oh, of course. I will happily serve as translator. Yes?
Lovely.
You see that the first brother signs something to him, and he turns and looks at you guys and says, "Has Marcus Foxtail been captured?"
No.
Yeah, no. But there was a pretty big to-do that happened, like a month ago. Y'all familiar with there was a local
It's like a festival.
it was a local festival, but I don't remember the name of it.
Beltane.
That one, Beltane, and y'all familiar with this? And I kind of look around to
Oh,
see.
yes. We celebrated as well here. in
Yeah, but
our
did you
own
hear
modest
what
way.
went down? Oh,
You see that there's sort of a quiet buzz.
yeah.
you
I
know?
dished the tea.
Yeah, everybody kind of stops eating so they can listen.
Well,
They're trying to be
apparently,
quiet and listen.
apparently,
Mm.
and then I go into the story about how Marcus Foxtail stole a favor from the betrothed of Lord Briarthorn, Galen,
Lord Thornhaven
Thornhaven. Sorry,
will be sued for that one.
and that's why. Well,
I guess Briarwood. Briarthorn. Thornhaven.
Thornhaven.
Mhm.
And I kind of embellish it,
Great.
and I talk about how pretty a
how
dress.
scandalous.
She was wearing a very pretty dress, but I describe my own dress that I
Yeah.
wore of hers as I was.
Do you see that one of the brothers, one of the quickest questions that gets asked after was, he turns and he says, "They'd like to know if you've seen Ilaria Catkin and if she's truly as beautiful as the tales say."
Oh yes, we
And
have met.
he's kind of like, "Boys
met
will be boys." They're all kind of thinking.
He knows.
I actually, I forgot. I thought we had. I personally have never met her, but I know that she has very wonderful dresses. Very lovely, silky, long, very befitting of a lady of the realm. Bed sheets, soft, stationary,
Well,
quite lovely.
She is to become queen. We take pride in our queen. Yes.
As well you should. But not as much pride as the holy matrimony.
Certainly.
Unless that's a sin.
Speaking of the holy matrimony, what news of sanctum? It's another question that gets asked.
You want to take this one?
Sanctum continues to be the beautiful place that it is.
A gem of order.
I remember the spire as well, and the hall of the incomprehensible question.
Yes, it's been.
What a beautiful place.
That room was nuts.
Lovely milks.
Which order do you hail from in the church, you three?
I'm from the Order of Serpent. The Serpent.
Mysteries, yes. You'll find many of us here who find our hearts in line with that order. So, Zach, you start to. One of the things that you put together is you're looking at the book that's locked.
Yeah.
You're not sure if it's related, but you know that the reason that brothers or sisters within the church take a vow of silence is because they've discovered an answer to a mystery that's not ready to be shared yet.
Oh.
So each of these men that are refusing to speak have some secret that they're not willing to either share or they've been urged by the church to not share.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So they're sent to the monasteries?
Yeah. So there's a couple angles of this, which is like sometimes you can be sent to keep something quiet, or you're choosing to put yourself in a place of silence because you're not comfortable with what you discovered or what you know.
Do they keep their secrets, or is that only something Zach knows?
This is just what's come up for Flavius because he paid attention in seminary.
Oh yeah, not me. That's fair.
You were cutting class and chasing ass.
I say, so you've asked us several. Now it is our turn to ask of you.
Sure, please.
I go, why does your holy book remain chained at the pulpit?
Yes, this has been kept for centuries here. And brothers who are ready to die, who are laying close to death, will often write the secret that they have kept in the book so that it may not vanish from the earth, but may be kept at a time for when the church is ready to reveal it.
Yeah, but like when you're writing it down, you can easily read the other ones on the same page. Seems like a flawed system.
Well, then you die.
Unless it's one per page. And then
Well,
that's a waste of paper.
I have not been the prior for very long, but there is a codex that's kept that has a language to write in.
Clever girl.
Typically, the prior will write the secret for the brother, and it's within a certain code. But I haven't had this honor yet, as I've only been the prior for these 2 weeks since the passing of poor Thelian.
Yeah, it seems like all those secrets would really tear you apart.
They can be hard to bear. And you see that they're all of a sudden, like this room that's been kind of jubilant, if though quiet, does get a little heavy.
With
Like
mention
when
of
you guys are
Thelian.
talking about the secret book
Now
and
everybody's
things,
thinking about their secrets.
because they're all thinking about their secret. You see that there's just kind of like a
From my knowledge of religion, Chad, do I know, can someone offer up their secret, or does it have to be approved by the church, basically?
it depends on the circumstances.
Hmm.
Because some secrets have been ordered kept by the holy matrimony. Other secrets are kept willingly and maybe then revealed willingly whenever a brother decides to do so. It's not uncommon for some of our order to leave and to decide that their silence is finished when they are ready to share. But this offers a place of respite and contemplation in those uncomfortable times between. Do you find our fare satisfying? Is this food pleasant for you?
It's incredible.
Hopefully it agrees with your constitutions.
I was going to say earlier, me want honeycomb. So I'm glad that you brought that back up because
Sadly, this is the last of the honeycomb, or the honeycomb we could find that wasn't sprayed with blood.
It's mighty fine of you to share it.
We do share with guests, especially esteemed guests that come from the sanctum. We did have a guest that left only a day ago. It
Who's
was
that?
just here before you. Hob Halfman. He's a small
Traveling.
fellow that's come over from Briarberry, and he just was passing through. He had questions.
What did he ask?
Like, it was, I guess, he was asking about if there had been any signs of flying creatures. One of our, you see, as he said that, the brothers around start kind of like almost, you can see they're kind of like laughing about it, in their quiet way. They start holding up a finger and knocking it, and they're all looking at like one of the younger brothers that's there, who looks all of a sudden sort of red-faced and shameful. They're all doing this at him. And he's like, one of our brothers, you see, kind of like looks in the direction of the young one. He's claimed that he's seen some sort of large creature flying above the treetops, but it seemed quite outlandish. And he is one that's sort of prone to foolery. So perhaps his word isn't as believed. But he did a drawing of it, and it was quite good. But Hob Halfman paid him and took it with him.
Damn it.
You
Draw it
think-
again.
Yeah. Do you think you could redraw it? I'd love to see it too.
If you'd like to encourage him, I'm sure you could. And he kind of like looks over and signs something at the boy.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I
And
thought
he's
he was
like-
close enough that you could hear.
You can see that he's kind of like.
What does
he's
Hob
willing.
Halfman look like?
Half a man.
Well, he's
Hobbles?
small and he's sort of bent. He walks with a limp. He seems a bit. He's also quite distracted and manic in his behavior. He seemed, if you ask me, he seemed like one who's troubled of conscience. Like he has a secret.
You've
Oh, I
committed
think-
some folly.
I think we all do.
We do, yes.
And to that point, did he name himself? Does he introduce himself as Hob the Half Man, or is that like a colloquial
No,
name?
he is known to us. He is known to us, and he is a personality here in
I would imagine, but he picked that.
Briarberry. He did not. He's
Okay.
he is Hob. But forgive the expression. We mean it with no disrespect. When you see him, he has the appearance of half a man. It's like calling it a white dog that we have. You know, it's descriptive. It's not meant as an insult. You see, at this moment, that there's kind of a moment of distraction where over at the main door to the chapel, you see that there's a large monk that's coming in, and he has to like stoop to come into the chapel. And you can see that when he's seen, the faces of individuals throughout the room start to light up, and they start to do this, like sign with their hands as they see him. And he comes walking in, and when he has two huge jars underneath his arms as he's walking in. And when he sees you guys, he smiles broadly. And he comes and hurries forward and sets
Big
these
boy.
jars down on the table.
Is he
Okay.
human?
Yes.
Okay.
But he's just big boy. Okay. Big, and he's just handsome. He's a striking, handsome man in the vibrance of manhood. But he's just a big dude. Okay. You see that he hurries forward and is signing over to Dorian. And Dorian, you can see that he's doing this sign and then doing this thing with his arm. And you see that Dorian is like, this is Gentle. We call him Gentle. He would love to arm wrestle you. It's something he does with every guest. Even he prevailed upon Hob Halfman to arm wrestle.
It's only a half an honor then.
Indeed.
You just
But
have to wrestle
he
twice
would
as
love
far.
the opportunity to arm wrestle all of you. He's arm wrestled everyone who lives here. It's something that it means a lot to him. He would love the opportunity. He gives prizes to those who are able to best him. So he would love the opportunity to do that. If
Okay.
you're amenable to that.
Yeah, I mean, we can after
Do it.
dinner.
Let's do it right now.
You see when he kind of
Singing's messed
agree.
up my voice.
When he sees you agree, he starts stripping out of his
Oh my gosh.
out of his gear, out of his like robe, and he peels down to just a breech clout. You see that he's like got
Hold
a
up.
chest like
What is a breech clout?
like a loincloth.
Okay.
It's just covering it, but you still see the whole shape.
Oh,
Okay. It's like when you're hanging out with Brandon in his boxers.
it's a straight up
There's
log
nothing,
jammer.
there's nothing left to the imagination. So sorry, now I'm just thinking of Brandon in his boxers.
It's the cut. It's the cut of the boxer. Okay. Breeds
Brazilian.
for a reason.
So he's got a chest like Gaston. He's just covered with hair,
Well.
like every square inch of him. But he's hulking. He's all hairy muscle. And you notice that when he gets close that he smells like pickles. He has a real pickle smell to him.
What of a real son of a bitch.
And you notice that the jars he brought have been opened excitedly by the other brothers, and there's pickles. They're all pulling them out and
I have a
passing them
pickle.
around. They're just damn good pickles.
If there were ever an NPC to go after Zach's heart.
Mm-hmm. So he sits down across from you, and you can see that all of all of the men walk around, and they start to like drum on the table and stuff, like making noise for this moment. And who is going to arm wrestle Gentle?
I think you ought to be the last to go because you're the strongest. So maybe we start with weakest.
Yeah.
So
and then
how this works is 10 victory points are needed. Okay. If you roll, so basically it's just a D20 with strength modifier. It's opposed checks. Straight up. Okay. Hold on. If you roll higher, and then the other person will gain a point. But if you roll higher by at least 10, you gain 2 points. Okay. If You roll a natural 20, you gain 3 points. If you roll a natural 1, you lose 2 points.
And you're keeping track of all this?
And I'll keep track
Okay,
of it.
cool.
Yeah, I'll keep track of it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
I strip to my waist, but I leave my
Nice.
pants on,
Okay, got it. Do it.
not just my boxer briefs. Okay, so are we rolling 1d20 at a time, or do you want me
Yes.
to mass roll? Okay.
Just do 1d20. And I'll do, I might actually just use the rolling
something
after.
to roll it?
All right. Oh, yeah, I love this. Thank you.
Yeah,
No,
just
I
do
don't. I want to roll on the
1d20, and I'll
table
keep
like that.
track. I'll keep track of the points right here, okay? And I'll let you know where they are because it'll be like related to where your arms are.
Oh, okay.
You know
So
what I'm
it's
saying?
yeah.
So
okay.
it's like
It's a meter
it's a
kind
meter.
of. Yeah,
It's a
yeah. I like
meter.
that. Okay.
Does that make sense?
All right. I'm feeling
Okay.
really strong.
Nice.
This honeycomb.
All
I
right,
tell
he's
you what.
smiling. He's just smiling at you, just
Good.
being handsome and happy.
I meet his hand,
Mhm.
and then
And you see, like, when you touch his hand, it's strong and
But
like it's a
briny.
worker's hand.
Yeah.
But you do feel like he holds your hand in a way that seems gentle. Like he just seems like a gentle
I
giant.
put my other hand over his hand, and then let go, and then
Okay, great.
let's get to work.
All right, do it. 11.
10.
Okay, so he's giving.
Oh wait, that's a 9. 12.
12. Okay, so you got one. All right, let me do this.
I
One-
cheated.
one to you.
Okay.
14.
21.
Dude, 2 to you.
Gentle the pickle boy.
So you're getting some
Natural 1.
16. So he just tied it up. So you're back up to the into the middle. 9.
6.
Okay, he's ahead. 3 to 2. 18.
8.
Shit. 5
All right.
to 2. He's halfway there. 18.
18.
Tie. Nobody.
Nothing.
16.
12.
Okay, he's at 6.
Get that reward, LS.
14.
10.
Yes.
So it's 3 to 6.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Shit. 8.
8. So he just got 3 points for a natural 20. So it's 9. So he only needs one more.
Oh, shoot.
He's got you down at
I
that.
gotta
Like
change.
he just got a 7.
10.
Okay. You're fighting back. You're at
Plus-
4.
He's
He's at 9. 19.
Oh, he got me.
Okay.
7.
Okay. See, when he puts your hand down, it's just gently under
Love
the
it.
table.
What a gentle
And
lover.
he hugs you. Just like he pulls you up into the embrace.
You got
this was a
pickled,
gift
bitch.
enough.
And he just smiles.
Yeah.
And he pats you on the
I'm
back
kind of-
and kind of like squeezes your shoulders. You know, you can sense that he's just grateful you played his game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I have a 17 strength. I'm no slouch.
Oh, I should have gone first.
No, but you're a dwarf.
16.
Oh, no.
Shit.
Okay, you ready, John?
Yeah,
Well
I-
fought. You
Part
get
my
lots of
beard.
like back pats and stuff like that, and then lots of people in the room who are like trying to tell you like you got me too. You know,
I
kind of
offer
thing.
LS a pickle in this trying time.
I part
You're
my
just
beard.
crunching it. You tried the pickles. Full.
He's got one.
Part my beard and I
Part your beard.
tie it behind my head.
Okay,
Get out of the way.
nice. Max getting in the zone. Parts his beard. You can see his part down here.
Should we kill this guy?
Okay, let's do it.
I just go behind him and slit his throat.
Okay, first roll 15.
18.
Woo! Okay, Max off to a good start. 1-0.
He loses twice. He kills himself.
Okay.
18.
You got another. He got you didn't beat him by 10 though, so you're down to it's 2-0. Natural 1.
20. Not a natural 20, but 20.
Holy crap.
Wait, is that 5 points?
So what I'll do, because he didn't have any points yet, instead of losing 2 points, it'll give you 2 extra points. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So you beat, and so you're at 6.
Oh.
6-0.
20 again.
17. Dude, is this gonna be a shutout?
I don't know.
Check his dice. Make sure he's
21.
Okay, I got 23.
Dang.
Okay. So he gets 1 point here. 12.
15.
Okay, you got another.
19.
You win. That's it.
That
You
was,
see you take him out, and he's like super impressed. The whole room is like, erupting and drumming on the table. and knocking on the door and clinking glasses and cups and stuff together. And he grabs you in a big hug, and slaps you on the back and lifts your arm up. You know what I mean? For everyone to see.
I have the weakest strength. I have
He's
16 as
super-
well.
Why did we have to go first?
Why is
Because he was the strongest.
Hold on. Why is our wizard the buffest?
Who's a wizard here?
You stat goblin.
Aren't you? You're a multi-class, right?
I'm a sorcerer.
Oh,
You're not a sorcerer.
Yeah, I am. You dumb
Okay.
bitch. How do you not?
How many sessions have you played with this guy?
And it's your favorite class.
It's my favorite.
We talked
class.
about
Sorcerer's
this.
your favorite class?
I played a lot of it.
You have played a lot.
Okay, don't tell it. You told me it's your favorite class.
That's why he chose it, and now you're.
No, you're making me feel like a 2 out of a 10.
You're making
instead
him
of
feel like he's a pink ultra. Strawberry.
You're making me feel like I'm a 2 out of a 10 instead of a
Yeah.
4 out of a
Sting's
10.
our Vietnamese sponsor. When I
Yeah.
Vietnamese fan, we love you.
Sorcerer's energy drink.
Yeah, we love you.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do it. It's the same thing. It's in the spot and ready to go. Okay.
11.
11. Hi. So just 1 second. 0, 0. Okay, let's go again.
16.
23.
Oh, damn.
Got a 1.
5.
16. Ooh, he gets 2 points. 3, 0.
Hey, 22.
Dude, 23.
Damn
Sorry,
it.
man.
That's my best roll.
He's rolling good right now. Oh, bad.
11.
6.
11.
Okay. You got 1. So it's 1 to 4.
7.
13. So 5 to 1. 21.
17.
Okay,
No.
6 to 1.
17 again.
17. So 0.
13.
13. 0.
21.
6. Okay.
I beat him by 10
Yeah,
points.
so it's 3 to 6. You're climbing back.
14.
7. So 4 to 6. Oh, can you imagine the energy as he's coming back up?
9.
12. So it's 1. So it's 7 to
Flavy.
4.
Flavy.
Yeah, we're the only ones that can talk.
13.
6.
Okay. It's 8 to 4.
I also start chanting.
14.
11.
9 to 4.
14.
14.
Stayed in there.
19.
10.
Ah, he gets you.
Yeah.
Takes you down. There's just like the raucous energy of the chapel, and he hugs you again.
I get a
big ol'
hug from
He slaps you on the back, and then he's like does kisses at you, like he's super grateful that you played the game.
Wait, I heard there was prizes if we beat you, and all I got is a hug.
He does like a 1 minute, and he goes running out just in his breechclout with his sandals on.
He's going to give you the magic
I
pickle.
turned to Brandon. I go,
Better not be a fucking pickle.
He's gonna be so disappointed when he sees you don't want his pickles.
I
The
get-
jars of pickles that he brought are like empty at this point. Everyone eats them because they're good.
And people over there drinking the juice.
No, they're
Well,
talking
what's
about
like
bottling it.
skeleton
They're talking about bottling it as an energy drink. It's a damn good
This is
idea.
the smartest
Yeah.
monastery
It's
I've
the
ever
smartest-
been
Yeah,
to.
they're so good. Okay,
They care about their
good.
health.
It's giving big Brock Sampson vibes.
Brooke Simpson.
Brooke
Yeah.
Simpson, where he's
Yeah.
like naked
Uh-huh.
all the time, just like
It's good stuff. So, you guys come back, like they're starting to clear plates and things, and he comes running back in, and he has a book in his hands. Okay, and he comes up and presents it over to the winner. Gives you this book. Okay,
winner, pickle dinner.
you see that the book is titled not book. It's not titled book. the book says book : Heroes of Faith ? Great questers of the threefold quest. But it gives a +2 to religion checks.
Oh,
Oh, thanks.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Wait, what was the name of the book, Chad?
Book : Heroes of Faith ? Great questers of the threefold quest. I'm not going to say it again. You can check the recording. You piece of shit.
book. It's a book : All I know is it's a book :
Book :
S-
Gentle has now put back on his modesty. He's got his modesty on. He goes over to Prior Dorian and is signing to him some things, and Prior Dorian is signing back. Then he turns and he says to you, Gentle would like to open his home tonight to stay with him as a sign of his gratitude?
He doesn't live here.
No, he in his apartments, his home,
His
so
ti-
that you can stay with him tonight.
His tiny home.
He would love to have you be his guest. And if I might say, he keeps a very clean home. It would be a good, spacious place for you to stay.
Okay, so that's like normal. It's not like a weird sex thing.
No.
Would he want it to be a weird sex thing?
You would have to.
We are the Holy Thrust, after all.
I don't feel comfortable translating.
Oh,
this
I can
sort of
show
interaction.
this is the actual,
Let's
Or-
not in the house
or this,
of the holy matrimony.
or this one too. This will also work.
You're very traveled and learned, I'm sure, in the ways.
I go Prior
Our
Dorian.
science
See that
is showing.
he's turned a total pink color.
This is Prior. His name's Prior Dorian, right?
Prior Dorian. Yeah,
Prior
which not to
Dorian.
be not to be confused with Prior Thelian, who died.
I go. What time of day was Prior Thelian killed?
He was tending to the bees in the morning.
Okay.
By himself.
When
Yes,
was
as
his
was his custom.
when was his body
We're
discovered?
A peaceful place.
When was his body discovered?
The afternoon, perhaps around supper when it was time to come in to eat.
Okay. So he was possibly dead for a couple hours.
Yes.
Whoever came and killed him had free reign then.
Not whoever, whatever.
I suppose you're right. Yes.
Now that dinner's over, could we get that young
They're putting
gentleman?
the chapel back together, like the pews and things.
This is nice. It's nice to see things back in order.
Uh-huh.
Could we see the drawing that young boy made, please?
Oh yeah, he brings you like kind of a new version of it, and it's not great. It's kind of hard to see. It looks like essentially it's like a body shape with like a wingspan, you know. And you can see
Like
it
a
looks
humanoid
like
body shape?
the body shape looks very like almost maybe like a quadruped animal, you know, like a dog or a cow, or you know what I mean, like it has 4 legs. Looks like that, and there's a skinny tail with like a bulb at the end,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's wings that go out from it. And the wings might either have like a bird-like quality, or maybe even a bat-like quality. There's something like that.
The boy who brought us over to him. So he was the one that supposedly saw this creature.
Mm-hmm.
I just take out one of the spines that we found, and I ask him, like, do you feel like this is a coloration of the creature?
You see that he looks at it.
I
He's
asked
got a bit of an
Dorian
underbite.
I asked Dorian to, like,
The
explain,
boy.
like,
He looks, and Prior Dorian does some translating for you. He looks and he signs back, and then Prior Dorian says he doesn't recall seeing anything like that, but he said it went over quick, just fast. I think it was a trick of the branches and the light, an overactive imagination.
that happened to 2 people then. The trick of the branches and the light?
What do you mean?
Why?
Wasn't Hob Halfman asking about this creature?
No, well, he was intrigued by it. I don't know if he asked or if our young friend showed a picture and then he showed interest. He might have been being kind and buying.
Would you have this
picture.
young man sign his picture of a flying hot dog so I can take it?
What's a hot dog?
He explains, and
It's like a
He
dog.
explains what a hot dog is.
he says,
It's
when you're
pork
at,
lips and
if you're at a ball
assholes.
game and you're sort of hungry and it's the 7th inning, and
If you need a stretch,
if you need a stretch, they're singing "Sweet Caroline."
Wait, the seventh inning stretch is meaning like getting up and stretching your legs?
Yeah, and getting a hot dog
And singing some Neil Diamond.
and a beer. One.
I don't drink beer, Brandon.
What about barley tea?
You boof it.
You boof it.
Barley tea too.
Wait, that really is. I thought stretch meant like this. The 7th inning is such a stretch,
Yeah, that makes
but it's just get up and stretching your legs.
Yeah.
So it's like 7th inning, like stretch your
Yeah.
legs.
I think so.
I said, now that before we head to Gentle's place, I want to go investigate the place where Prior Thelian was.
We already
Didn't you already
investigated
see
that.
it?
When we first got here, we went to the mashed bee boxes.
Well, I want to
They were
see.
going to show us his body, though, weren't they?
No, he's
I think
buried.
there was nothing
we
left.
looked at
Nothing
his
left.
effects, but what did you want to see, Zach?
Well, I wanted to know if he could have been attacked from the sky.
So there were
From the location, was it an open? It was
it's
an
an
open
open
location,
field.
so something could have flew
Yeah, it's
in
a
to
it was
attack
a
him,
bee.
right?
It was a bee glade. It was
yeah,
an open
and as a
meadow.
reminder, there were broken branches up high again. Right. That's as I recall.
Yeah.
And how big of a cat creature do you think we would have been based on the
paw
prints?
print was bigger than any cat you've ever seen.
So
it
if
was
that
like it
cat
was big
was-
enough that it made you concerned. Like it was the size of maybe like a bear or larger.
So if it was traipsing through the woods,
was a hairy bear.
it was traipsing through the
Was a
woods.
scary bear.
It would probably leave broken branches. Then
Maybe
okay, I want to go out back to the bee
you're
glade.
gonna have to go check it out yourself, Steve Irwin.
I'm gonna go ahead. I want to
Gonna get
investigate
stabbed
the
in the
bee
heart.
glade
Again.
again. Closer to the
It's just
forest,
a
see
damn.
where the attack
It's a
came
land
from.
stingray. It's after you.
Wherever the creature was, it had to come from somewhere. It didn't magically apparate in the middle of the bee glade.
What does apparate mean? That seems like a trademark infringement.
Apparate?
Harry
Operation?
Potter?
Yeah. I actually
she
don't know.
revealed that it turned out that you, the reader, were gay all along.
That's my
Me and
favorite
Gandalf,
one.
baby.
So I'm down for that, but I
Hagrid
thought
was a single mother.
my recollection is that we my recollection is that we went there and we saw that there were broken branches that came out of like the sky, and then there was a big area with the quills.
When we met that's where we met the arm. That's where we found the arm. It wasn't coming out of the sky. It was high broken branches. Correct, Chad?
So that wasn't at the aviary.
No,
the
it wasn't.
bee
It was at the
aviary?
previous place where we found
I'm
the sword.
asking Chad because I'm remembering it.
There
it was
was
both.
debris at both locations.
Broken
where
branches and
Fulmer
stuff.
was. There's broken branches in the canopy, like a lot of that. Where you were at in the
bee glade.
the bee glade, there everything was broken. Like all of the nice wooden bee boxes and everything, they're all shattered and splintered.
So
But there wasn't like a canopy above the bee glade.
So I want to go to the forest line and look to see if I could find where the creature had come through.
Okay, that's fine.
Cool.
You guys can go to. I'll meet you at General's place.
Yeah,
so you
I-
don't need to be out.
I was just
Oh.
for the sake of like moving it
Yeah.
forward. If we had already been there and looked, wouldn't we have already looked for those things?
No, because we were in the glade and they were showing us like right where he died. We didn't. I'm trying to figure out if he was attacked from the sky or if he was attacked from the forest.
Okay, so you want to go back and track it in the dark?
Yeah.
Okay, we could do that in the morning too. Where
Okay, let's do it in the
it's-
morning.
Well, so because it would be easier.
Oh,
to
we'll
see,
go
yeah.
sleep and then do it in the morning.
Cool. Sound good?
Off to Gentles.
Have a great night. Know that we are very grateful to have you, and we'll feed you in the morning as well. Thank you.
Fiji in the morning.
You start going, I'm assuming, with Gentle.
Funyuns.
Gentle's happy as can be. Like almost like it has a little boy energy, just excited that you're coming to his place. But it's just quiet, big.
It's going to
quiet
be
dude.
a fort.
Yeah, he's going to turn it into a fort.
Pillow
It's
fort.
going to be a fort. Yep.
It's taking us to a tree
You
house.
go to it's a wooden home with a thatched roof, kind of like that you've seen scattered around. It's a little bit removed from the rest of the cloister, or the rest of the monastery. It is on like it's out kind of closer to the bee glade, so you're
Mhm.
thinking it's kind of good. It'll be it'll be easier in the morning to just go out and see it. But it's on a little bit of a rise. And there's some running water that you can hear somewhere nearby, maybe a brook or a stream. When he lets you in, you can see that there's an iron stove on a swept wood floor, and the iron stove has a nice like stone chimney that goes up. You notice that he has a pretty kitted out woodworking shop that's adjoining the main room, and there's that smell of like sawdust, and you can see it's pretty neatly kept, and all of his tools have places, but there's all sorts of different carving projects and furnishing projects, things that he's making. He seems very industrious. He has, there's like a nice bed, but you notice when he gets there, one of the first things he starts doing is he takes out of a trunk some rope netting, like that you would almost see on a ship, or like a boat. And he starts to string it up from these hooks that are on the beams of his home. So it creates like a big hammock. There's like a bunch of different like little hammock spots for you guys
Sweet.
to sleep. And he kind of crawls up there and you see too much of his backside. Maybe just enough of his backside.
Maybe
as
not
he
enough.
climbs up in there and like kind of shows you, like he like lays back and relaxes, like kind of shows you where you could sleep. He has lovely flower pots in the windows. It's a really minimalist home, though. Like you get a sense that it's like a home for like very much like a meditative mind. He just, there's a lot communicated in his space. You also can see that he has just jars and jars of pickled vegetables. There's casks of vinegar and seasonings that are here as well. And he just kind of just makes you feel at home.
Cool.
So for tomorrow's plan, do we need to come back to the village? I mean, I guess this is why we're here.
Breakfast?
Sorry, yeah. But I mean, we're here to investigate this, right? That's the main purpose to be here.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll stay here until we learn information, or do you guys want to gather what we can from here and go into the village and try and get? I mean, I guess it's the opposite direction. So there wouldn't have been.
You can hear Prior Dorian's voice outside, and he's like, "Here, they should just be here." And you see that he's leading Virgil and Sir Landon Thorne and Hugh over to where you guys are. And you see that he's like, "Oh, see, here they are," and kind of like points them. You see that Virgil comes over, and you see that Sir Landon Thorne is like looking back, and you notice, like he's like keeps looking back over their shoulder, and he turns to you guys and he's like, it's the damnedest thing. He's like looking back over, and he points for you guys to see, and you can see that old white dog, you can see that dog, and then a bunch of other dogs are like kind of following Hugh. They're like over kind of back behind him and like hanging out with your prisoner, if that makes sense.
Maybe
like
he's in heat.
It's like the mutts seem to have taken a liking.
Maybe Hugh needs a bath.
Yeah, it's probably because he's a werewolf.
A what?
Nothing.
All right.
I go, Landon, have you ever seen a creature like this? And I ask for the picture that you have.
Pull it out.
Have you ever seen a hot dog with wings?
Looks like a bit of heraldry or something. I've seen it on a shield, I think. Doesn't it seem like it's made for a battlefield? Griffin or something of that nature.
It is rather spooky.
Seems like the sign of a royal house.
No.
Is there any royal houses in the area that this is their heraldry?
No, but I'm not one for that sort of knowledge.
What about, would that be like a local knowledge?
I could roll. Think about some local knowledge.
I mean, I also could, but they could also be nobility, and I don't have nobility.
Yeah, nothing is coming to mind, but it does remind me of it. So perhaps I have seen some.
If I were to like have a 12,
gods, that's a mountain of a man.
You should arm wrestle him. Actually, you want to arm wrestle him?
You see that it's in the moment. Gentle's like trying to get him to do it, like talking to him.
We all did it.
Very well. Immediately, Gentle's out of his clothes again. Pulls up 2 little stools to a table and starts arm wrestling Virgil.
Love it.
Cool.
If you win, he'll give you a stupid book.
Zach, sorry, I wasn't trying to say that to poo-poo your idea. I was
Poo-poo.
I was understanding that we had already done that, so that was my bad.
Fine. So, Sir Landon Thorne is like, "Do we want to bring the prisoner indoors with us, or just leave him chained outside
like a dog?"
I'll keep.
He seems comfortable. You look over at him, and you see he's like kind of on the ground, and the dogs are around him, and he's just kind of rubbing them.
I'll take first watch with the prisoner.
Yes, watches. That's actually a good idea. Well done. I was going to suggest that as well.
I would like to point out, though, it looks like your perception has improved because you noticed that there were dogs following our prisoner. So that's a good step in the right direction.
Hard to get anything by me.
Oh, I know. So
yes,
this is good.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree. No, I'm saying you're doing a good job.
We're in agreement.
I would also say yes.
Perfect. All right, Virgil. What do you think? Do you think he wins? Let's just do one roll.
That's a good idea. Virgil?
Yeah, somebody roll percentage to see if Virgil Tibbetts is gonna win.
MVP.
What's the percentage chance he wins?
69.
Hey,
Yeah.
nice. Nope, he doesn't win. Sorry.
Oh.
All right, it's Sir Landon Thorne's turn. Sir Landon Thorne's big boy, 6'7",
Probably
something like that.
he's-
6'8".
I'll
He's a
roll
big
for
boy.
Landon.
effing killing for fun.
He's looking gentle in the eye.
53.
Yeah, he wins.
Oh, way to go. Gentle or
You don't like that Sir Landon won because
Yeah.
it makes him. He's kind of an egomaniac.
What did he get as a prize, and can we claim it?
So Gentle went over to one of he has like these little pots, and he opened one up and pulled out a necklace that has a snail shell on it. And gives it to Landon.
He
Landon's
got
like,
a pearl necklace? That's not fair.
a snail shell.
Oh, so I thought you said snail trail.
Snail trail? Snail shell. This is a family show.
Then Brandon's out.
That's right. We're gonna cut him out and put in CGI AI.
Of Jesus.
That's right.
Brother.
You ask which way to go. I am the way. Okay. So he
Blasphemy.
wins. Sir Landon
What?
Thorne is
It's
kind of like,
blasphemy.
"That's right, I win," and takes the necklace. He's like, "This is it." Like he's gonna just.
I'll trade you. If you don't want it, I'll give you something.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep it. I'll toss it out.
I take it.
Okay.
And I'm like, but I don't want to be rude. Let me give you this.
Gives him poison.
I don't know. I don't give him anything.
Okay.
I'll give you a gold piece for it.
He gives you the necklace.
I give him a gold piece.
Oh,
That's called
it's
purchase.
like he goes, "You fool! He gave me a piece of gold for a snail shell. You should not go into the market."
I've heard snails are up this year.
I don't know what that means.
Snell futures.
No.
I climb
Okay.
in my hammock.
All right.
Good night.
You guys climb in the hammock.
I go outside to watch.
You're going to go
Hugh.
outside to watch Hugh. You go outside, and when you're sitting there, are the rest of you going to sleep?
Yeah.
Let's just speed it up. So you guys are asleep. It's been a couple hours, and Hugh's there. You notice that these dogs are clearly all related.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Uh-huh.
like these puppies have had puppies, and they're kind of in this area. Some of the dogs are like older, some of them are younger, but they're all like chilling with Hugh. They seem like they're just like super pumped to be there with him. They've brought him bones and stuff, like,
Do they not know that he's a murderer?
and they're doing all that. But you see that Hugh, out of nowhere, you've just been quiet, kind of in the middle of the night.
I want to talk to him.
Gentle
when I have a chance.
has come in and out for wood a couple of times and has kept the fire going inside. But you see that Hugh turns to you in the watch of the night, and he just says, "You don't have to keep me tied up."
I say, why are these dogs attracted to you?
I don't know. Perhaps because I pet them, but I do feel a kinship. But if you untie me, I won't run away. Can I give you my word? My wrists are sore.
Chad, when we were traveling in Brent and LS smelt the blood, did you let us know that you smelt something?
I don't think so.
Because if he had let you know that he smelled something, then it would have meant that he dealt something. So he didn't want to.
I wish we could just check the tape right now.
You're
No,
asleep.
it's fine. I can't remember.
But
You're
no,
asleep.
I mean from
I'm
last
just
session.
Flavius has tried to make connections.
I don't know what
Yeah.
tape you're talking about.
because I
This
know
is-
that
you guys are fantasy characters in a fantasy story.
Sorry, they're recording Crystal.
Oh, yes. The orb. Oh, you
Pondering
could
the
ponder the
orb.
orb.
Yeah.
Okay.
have dogs always been attracted to you? You feel like this is due.
These are just friendly dogs, I guess. But I do. That's crazy. Never mind.
You can speak your mind. And I undo his wrist. I
If
undo
I
his,
told you
I undo his, as I say this, I undo his wrists.
he freaking attacks you, I'm just joking.
Please do.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Jump scare. Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Just kidding. No, as you undo the wrists, he's like rubbing his wrists, and you do see they're pretty raw,
Yeah.
Virgil's kept him tight, you
Yeah.
know. But you see that he starts rubbing his wrists gently. They're like bloody and stuff and not feeling good. But he says, if I told you that I understand them, Would you think I'm crazy?
No.
Good.
You sense their emotions?
Yeah, I feel like they can almost talk to me.
That's new for you.
I've never experienced anything like it.
What other things feel new since you murdered your family?
You see that he winces when you say that. But he's like, I can smell everything. I can smell everything. Like he's like trying to describe it. I know I can smell individually each person that's in there sleeping, and I know which one makes pickles all day.
Can you smell of any old blood?
Yeah.
Show me. I get him off his feet.
Okay.
Lead me to it.
All right. You see that he starts walking and sniffing a bit. And he just goes pretty directly to the bee glade.
Okay.
Comes down in there, and you can see he gets there. He almost like covers his nose.
Yeah.
He's like,
Just like
blood all over the place here.
Twilight.
You get out here and you're under the stars, the vault of the stars, kind of out from underneath all the trees because you've been in the woods so heavily. It's really beautiful, and it's colder somehow out from underneath the canopy and away from the warm hut of Gentle. But you see that you're just kind of reminded of the vastness of the universe in this moment.
I said a monk was killed here. The prior was the previous prior was killed here. He is attacked by a beast, and I show him the quill. Does this have a smell on it that you sense here?
This has a strange smell, yeah.
Can you follow this smell? Where it came into the glade?
I might be able to. You see, he's like smelling the quill and walking around. He's like, it's 15 minutes of him circling.
Yeah.
And he comes back and he's like,
he finally lays down.
I can smell. Yeah, he circles in one spot and finally lays down. He says, I can smell. It's the damnedest thing. I can smell that it was here, but I can't tell where it went. And I don't know if it's just because it was days ago, if it's old. It seems like I can't quite pin where it went, but it was here.
Okay. Let's head back.
Okay. You guys get back to the Gentle's hut, and you kind of go back to you see that he goes back over to the dogs and kind of just like lays down,
Yeah.
And as you're about to like go back to where you were, he's like, Flavius?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You should be aware that I have the power to end your life.
I know.
As justice from Sanctum.
He goes, and I can understand why you would, and I didn't kill my family.
If you can continue to show honesty and your true nature, we'll see if there's anything that can be leveraged in your favor when you're put at trial.
I'll do whatever I can.
Okay. I'm gonna go get I'm gonna get Landon.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have him go watch you for the rest of the night.
Okay. You see that he's like, what time is it?
Time for you to watch the prisoner.
Watching what? You see he's like kind of tangled in he gets his lanky ass out of bed, out of the hammock, and starts coming down. He's like, oh, yes, good. Yes, we should do a watch. That was my idea earlier.
I go to sleep after that. I guess go to sleep after changing guard.
So it's a little bit later and like still in the dark of the night, when Sir Landon Thorn wakes you guys up and he's like, I think something happened to Gentle. Can you get up? Can we wake up?
I get up.
Okay, you guys are kind of like waking up. The stove is cold. Like the fire's gone out.
Went to get food, wood, and never came back.
How were you watching too? I think that's he stepped out and he hasn't returned.
You killed Gentle. Good job, Flavius. Is this
Okay,
Landon who's
have you
telling us?
walked outside?
Yeah, I went out and I've called his name, but I don't.
Where's the prisoner?
I don't know how to get him to come.
Oh, he's not gonna call back. Wait, is this Landon or Tibbets?
Landon.
So you saw him come in and out, and then he's just gone.
Yeah, you hear Tibbets is waking up and he's pulling on his stockings.
Yeah.
You realize what a shapely calf he has. A well-turned calf.
A well-turned calf.
But
my house?
you see that he's mumbling about incompetence under his breath as he's hearing Landon.
I walk outside.
He's like,
Hugh there?
one of the duties of the watchman is to watch what fucking happens. You see he's like pissed off about it.
I walk outside. Are the dogs and Hugh Blumpkin there?
So you see that the dogs are up and agitated, and Hugh's on a knee, and he's like rubbing the dogs, and he looks at you, and he's like, "It came back."
Can you tell where Gentle went?
He goes, I can smell the vinegar on him.
Lead us to him.
Hey, why doesn't he have his restraints on?
Let's go.
What the hell is going on here?
All right, he stands up, and you see that the dogs are all kind of like his little pack around him, and he just starts to walk, and you can see he just turns his nose to the wind and starts following.
Okay.
It's that time of the morning where you like don't want to be up, feel a little like it's cold.
Ugh,
and you
9 a.m.
Yeah, you're not feeling good.
Got a
It's
little
like
tummy
11
ache for being
a.m.
up too early.
And
You have to catch your plane.
You know that McDonald's breakfast is over, and you're pissed because it's over. Yeah.
9 a.m.
Wait,
McDougal's breakfast and the
McDougal?
carriage drive-through is closed.
Oh no!
but also, why is
And
he
they're-
not restrained? What's going on here? He's attracted to dogs.
Oh, you see that when Virgil sees that Hugh is not chained up, he like pulls his sword and he's like, Sir Landon, did you untie our prisoner? Like you see he's just accusatory and pissed at Sir Landon.
It is the great
He's
question.
like, he's not tied? Like he didn't notice the whole time.
I say it was by my decree that I untied him.
Oh. Did he bring forth some new evidence to prove that he's not a murderous fiend?
Shut up, Tibbets.
That's the question. Did he, Tibbets?
I'm confused.
I go. There'll be time for that. We need to make sure no one else is.
Very well. Very well.
I'm with you, Tibbets.
I follow Blumford.
They've taken leave of their senses.
He is a
Watch
wanted
your
man.
tongue.
I wasn't
Tibbets.
speaking to you,
Oh.
Lord Flavius. And I recant my statement just now. I am not a morning person. I'm sorry.
Don't talk to him till he's had his morning energy drink. Till he's had his morning
Elixir.
sting.
Yeah, his morning sting. I'm geeking off sting. Okay, so you guys start to go as a group, and he takes you down towards. It's like kind of down from his little rise that's kind of next to the bee glade. There is a little sheltered area that has wood, like stacked wood, and you notice that there is a pile of stacked wood that's just like strewn in the bushes, like just kind of like thrown across the area. And you do see very quickly that Hugh comes over and sees the wood pile and then walks into some long grass in a place you would never have gone and pulls a quill out. Damn it. And you can see that like when he pulls it, it's not like it was laying flat. It was like stuck in the ground. You see he like grabs it and pulls it out and reaches and pulls another one like it was stuck in the ground.
Gentle.
And you can see that
because
he
he was not going to be
looks
calling
up,
back.
like he immediately looks up and you can see that there are like some broken branches and scratches on the tree and stuff. But you see that he's still smelling and he's like, I think I can follow it. You see he starts walking into the trees.
Okay.
You know,
I'll
like
follow
not on a
him.
path, just going directly.
Okay.
You know, and the dogs are going. You also notice that some of the dogs stop. Like they get like a scent, they tuck tail, their ears go down, like they look really uncomfortable and they back
Those
away.
are called cats.
Yeah, they back away and kind of run off scared. But you can see that the old timey dog, that one that was sitting there just kind of panting in the sun, that one and two of the younger ones that seem like strong young males decide to stay with as you guys are going. Okay.
I'm gonna draw my blade, draw my rapier as we're walking.
Okay.
And is there starlight enough to see, kind of,
It's
with my
pretty
keen,
dim.
my keen elven eyes?
Your keen elven
You
eyes.
got dark vision.
It's
What are
pretty
you,
dim.
human? Do you need something human?
Lamp.
Virgil gets a lamp going, like a lantern that you guys can carry. And you see that Hugh seems to be navigating no problem in the dark, and kind of bushwhacking through. But you do notice that he's not trying to like separate himself from you guys. Like he's actually just staying. Like he'll even like get up ahead and stop and wait for you guys to come and catch up to him.
Good boy.
And Landon is just loud in general, just moving through the woods. He just has there's no like subtlety or stealth about him. He's just kind of a big, tall, knightly oaf. Okay.
Just a giant Spencer Harrison.
So it's you three. I just want to make sure we've got this clear. It's you three. It's Hugh and a couple of dogs. It's Tibbets and it's Sir Landon. Okay.
We might as well have a drum we're banging as we're walking on. Where are the minstrels?
A dinner bell.
Where's the flute?
For real.
Okay. You see that he, after you guys have gone a few hundred yards, Hugh stoops and picks something else up again and turns and shows it to you. And you see a sandal.
Okay.
One of Gentle's sandals.
I would like to step away from the party and move a little quieter. Just
to not be in the middle of the ruckus.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Just come at it from a different angle,
Mm-hmm. Okay. The ruckus. Okay. Will you roll? Are you gonna try to hide and move silently? Are you gonna? You might slow down too much if you do.
Yeah, and
you're just gonna be off, being more careful.
Yeah, just being a little bit careful.
Have us look.
So I will. Yeah, but nothing crazy.
Okay. So you guys come to a place where it starts to be pretty tough going, and you notice that the woods that you're climbing through are just like old and overgrown, and there are lots of like boulders. It seems really rocky all of a sudden, and so you're like climbing through these rocky areas, and you notice that Hugh is often going to places where he's trying to get high, like he's getting up on top of things and smelling the air and then continuing forward, that sort of thing. Almost like the scent is not low to the ground, like it's up, as he's going. But he still seems like he's moving with some confidence, just continuing forward. You notice as you're getting into this, I mean, it's probably been 40 minutes at this point, okay? Like you're going, and so you're creating some good distance between you and the monastery. You start to hear raven song, like some of that, like almost like cackling sound, like coming from somewhere, almost like in response to you. It's almost like you're coming into a neighborhood of ravens, and they're like, the hell, it's early. Like it's, they're kind of like barking at you a little bit as you guys go.
Are you going to give us your raven?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm trying to go for it. So you can hear like little ravens, but nothing is giving you like they're not giving you a full on raven.
Nothing that's like, that's so raven.
That's so raven. Okay. Raven Simone.
Feels like a murder.
Raven Simone's up there in the trees. So,
Rose?
Yeah.
Okay.
It probably has been, I want to say a couple miles at this point that you've traveled and hiked. You're sweaty, you're uncomfortable, you're tired. Sir Landon Thorn is panting like a bull, and making ruckus as he's climbing over stuff. But you all of a sudden find that a stone that Hugh is climbing over, you don't think he notices, but as he climbs over this stone, you can see that the stone has facial features. Like it's almost like it's this head of a statue, like laying in the ground.
Oh my gosh!
But it's pretty big, like the size of a car. And he's clambered up on top of it, and he's smelling. But you can see that, like, you're starting to see some shape to this rock that you're passing. Okay, roll a spot check or perception check.
You had us great spot.
That's true. Very good. Experience points to you.
19.
5.
18.
Okay. You see, you're looking, and there's like, specifically Ellis and Mac, you guys are noticing that some of the growth of trees and ivy and things that are around you look like they have strange shapes to them. So what at first glance looks like just like some ivy and bushes that are in a mound, you're actually seeing now have like a window, and it looks like maybe it's the ruins of an old building or an old house, that's just been covered with overgrowth. And you're seeing that there's a lot of these, and it looks like the road that you're walking on, or like the path you're walking on that was so stony and disrupted, is now like, oh, this used to be a road. Like you're getting into some ruin, and you're seeing the remains of like buildings or houses that were on the sides of it.
Hey, Landon. Sorry, sir.
What? Are we there yet?
Yeah, almost. But I'm just curious. There used to be a town or a village or a keep kind of by you that's now abandoned. You tell me a little bit about that?
What?
Come on now. Look at
What are
these
you talking
buildings.
about? See, he's like, should we go back for the horses?
Do you need some water? I guess answer my
Maybe
question.
we should send Landon back to let the monastery know what's going on.
Well,
I can go back. I could do that. That sounds good.
sure, but can you answer my question though?
About
Yeah.
what?
Okay.
A ruin?
Yes. Are there ruins around where you're from? Or are you just completely useless?
You see, he's like, I don't know anything of a ruin.
Okay, no problem. Do you think you can get back? Do we care?
How far of a trip back?
I mean, it's a couple miles.
You can send him with tidbits.
We weren't my ally. We weren't on a path for some of it,
Yeah,
but we
going
have ended
through-
up on a path.
Yeah. Now it's like you've come onto a ruined road. That's what it looks
Is
like.
it still early dawn? Like, is
Yes,
it pre-dawn?
So it's pre-dawn. Yeah.
We should probably let the monastery know that someone's been taken.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't trust that he'll get back. He'll get lost.
We should probably send him with tidbits if we want to send him.
Yeah.
Or we keep tidbits with us.
50-50. I don't... It's either he goes back with them or... John, you want to weigh in on that?
I don't know why we'd send him away, but
Yeah, are you thinking just to keep it quieter?
I'll just let the monastery know that someone's been taken.
Yeah.
We'll just keep looking around, Chad. We'll keep him with us.
How... I ask Mr. Blumpkin... Hey...
Lumford.
I'm sorry, I know.
I know.
So, just as far as smells go, is it getting stronger? Like, are we getting closer? Or are we tracking at about the same level as Sant? And can I smell it? Can I smell this?
Roll your smell check.
No, I can't. I got a 1.
One. Yeah, you're not smelling it, but
I think I got COVID again.
Yeah, you might got COVID. You see that he says, I can't tell if I'm getting closer, but it's not getting fainter.
Okay.
Does there still look like there's broken tree branches?
Not here. It's hard to tell.
So like the main tussle was at the wood pile.
Yeah, like it's hard to tell what's going on here. But you do see, that Hugh like his head turns while he's sitting there. And you can sense that like you guys can feel some wind. And he goes, there's dead things up here. Rot.
Nest.
Rot.
Your family.
We might be close. If it's been taking, if whatever this thing is has been taking its kill back.
It would make sense because whatever grabbed.
Elmfud.
Yeah.
Or Fulmer.
Fulmer
Fulmer.
somehow took off his arm and then that was it.
How...
Check
Let's
it out.
go quiet. Let's go quiet, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir Landon, why don't you stay in this building right here
Building.
and protect our...
You see, he's like, oh, it's a building.
And protect our flank? Is
Are
that-
we in a ruin?
Or actually, do we give a shit about this guy? Do we care if he dies? I
He's
was
like,
just thinking
I'll be the rear guard. And he goes and sits down heavily. He's taking a good deep breath.
I'm okay with this. Are you guys okay with this?
Yeah.
Yeah. F this guy. All right.
He's like, I'll be sure to run for help if I hear anything.
That's a good idea. All right. Let's go quiet, like.
You start moving ahead. You see that Virgil Tibbets is on edge. His mouth is very tight, and he's holding on to the hilt of his rapier as he walks forward. You move down this ruined street and can see the bodies of these old houses and buildings, and you feel like you're walking into the graveyard of an old village or something. You know, it just seems this ruin, and it feels to you and seems to you like it's been in ruin for a long time, for the trees and the growth to have reclaimed it. So like you don't feel like the buildings are really accessible anymore, like that you could go in them, the ones that are still have partially rooms standing and stuff, you know. But as you go down this ruined stone road, out of the mist ahead of you of the morning, you can see the crumbling ruin of a castle, and you see turrets rising up out of the mist, and you can see another toppled statue in front of like in the main road. You know, there's just like a fallen statue, and you can see some carving on it, like some actual like words carved, and it says, "Let no light be kindled in the ruins of the house of these black birds. Let darkness keep their curse forevermore."
Are there crows around here?
You know that you passed some, and you're not seeing any here.
But we saw some. We didn't just hear it, or did we only hear it?
You only heard it. It was
Okay.
dark. You heard
okay.
crows, you know, raven song. You weren't sure otherwise. But you can see here as you're coming up towards this keep that you see that Hugh again like kind of covers his nose.
Do I smell anything?
You don't. Brandon, roll your smell check again.
It's a werewolf thing you wouldn't understand. 13.
Brandon, you do smell like
werewolf.
rotting flesh. Like it smells pretty like strong to you. Actually, you're surprised that not everyone else is like grossed out, but you also smell like a hint of vinegar in there somehow. It's almost like you can smell gentle.
I don't know if I'm having my werewolf bar mitzvah. No, I say, it stinks. Man, there's a lot of rot around here. And what the hell are those pickle smells? Ugh.
Pickle meat.
Lead us on, Hugh.
Yeah, let's go quiet.
You start to walk forward and you notice that the dogs get like their hackles up. They start to like, you know, move slower and they're lower to the ground. Their ears are laid back. They've got all the hair standing on their back. And you get the same kind of like, it's interesting to watch Hugh move with them because it's almost like he has a similar posture as he's sniffing and moving forward, and he's moving really slow.
So at this point, I would want to step. I say, I'll be with y'all. And then I'm going to step away and move silently and can hide in shadows. So I would like you to roll those, right?
Sure.
If that's okay.
Yeah, that's great. Let me roll my shittiest dice over here. Natural
Please
ones
do.
all day. Natural ones all day.
Do you need my...
No, because you're rolling so bad, it doesn't even matter. Just kidding. I do need
You already have them, or you don't need them?
I don't have them. I only have your AC and your hit points and your phone number, bitch.
My telephone number. Stealth plus 10.
Okay.
Is there a move? I think it's just
I don't
stealth.
think
There's not a move silently.
No.
It's just
Just
stealth.
We didn't. Break
I'm going to
those
be
out.
a generous
God.
and I'll take the higher of my two rolls.
2 is higher than
I
one.
was. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Nice.
I say, LS, do you just want to go see?
Later, hooker. You disappear. Okay.
Bye, go see what's in there.
You can't see him, Zach, unless you roll a spot check.
I can just say out loud.
Yeah,
But
that's
don't
fine.
look at him when you say it. I don't
Unless-
want it to look like you see him.
LS.
There it is.
LS,
Zach.
you're gone. LS, go.
Oh, I bet he's the Rain Man.
I say, LS, go ahead. Go look with your silence, with your gifts.
Use your silent gifts.
Your gifts from the holy matrimony, and let us know. We'll stay here.
That's all you hear. Okay, I go.
I tell
I
you
will
to
go
back
for it.
up
Okay,
and
great.
just
Yeah.
say wait.
Great.
And I'm going to go over to Landon and Should we set? I'm gonna send Landon back.
You see that Hugh and the dogs flinch
Landon
and like kind of
stopped.
back up. They have like a sudden flinch moment, and he looks at you and he's like, "Did you hear that?"
Nope.
Nope. He's like, "Something's moving in there."
I go, LS is gonna go see what's inside.
It might be LS.
He's like, "Don't send him alone."
Too late.
Oops.
Yeah. So you notice that the portcullis that's there for this castle, the ruined portcullis, you can see that it's like up and bent and the rocks are falling and you're not sure how there's still like an opening there, you know? And you also notice that there's a gap of like a 15-foot gap and there's a moat. There's a moat. And the gap you can see was previously like had a wooden, like drawbridge, like a walkway. The chain is hanging snapped and the wood is like completely fallen through. Okay, down into like standing nasty water. You also can see that there are sections of the walls that have collapsed where there's still a wall there, but like they've collapsed down into the moat and like kind of burst, it's almost like earth has shifted and like burst, out walls and things. Or like things that were heavy sunk in. It's just kind of like, it's almost like the castle is slouching. Okay.
So was there more? I'm sorry, I was gonna. Okay. So is there a way for me to get across the moat?
You could try to jump.
I have a rope and a grappling hook.
Awesome. You answered your own question.
Well,
looks like you played yourself.
I was making sure that the slumping that was occurring in the castle wasn't filling the moat, and I could just walk across.
No, you could. There's sections that you might be able to, but you might have to bushwhack around to find a spot to do that. But you probably could find a spot where the moat is no longer like keeping things out.
I'll go a little way out, and if I don't see anything, then I would. Sorry, were you gonna?
Well, I was just gonna say that I'm a druid and I can actually bushwalk.
Oh, she.
Were you going to share that with the group?
Woodland
You're going to
stride.
share your skills and strengths and abilities with the group?
It's my working genius, bushwalking.
Bushwalking. That's
Oh,
the
walkabout.
WIDB.
Wibjit.
Wibjit.
So
you kind of start walking around the side and you startle a bunch of ravens.
what the shit?
They just like start flying.
Well, that sucks.
When that happens, you can hear what sounds like stone on bone in the keep, right? Just like a rattle, and something moves and shifts, and then silence again.
Okay, I guess I would want to look to avoid birds in the future, too.
Okay,
But if I find
they just like kind of flew up,
If that's as good a place as any, I guess. Get out old Bertha, my trusty grappling hook that I've never used.
Oh, you've used her.
Yeah, but not in the way God intended. This is so I have 50 foot of silk rope.
You can't even look Bertha in the eyes anymore.
Not anymore.
Usually the hooks have more of like a pointed edge. These like round.
These have been really worn down.
These look like mushrooms.
These look really round. What's this going to grab onto?
It's just one giant dragon tentacle.
When he reaches into his pants to pull it out, you hear a...
That's my cat of nine dildos.
Oh, no. Okay.
So I take it and I
Kenneth?
whip it across.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Just a dex.
Yeah, do a touch attack with it, boy. Do a range touch attack. Look at me knowing something.
Those are them things. 21.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you throw it over. Throw it over. Are you trying to go through where the portcullis opening is, or
No.
you're trying to climb over a wall?
Definitely not where the portcullis is.
Shit, dude. Okay, you throw Bertha up over the wall and then start pulling the rope back, and you feel strong purchase.
Okay. I'll go ahead and give it a tug and climb on over.
Whoa. Swing. You just swing down.
Yeah. That could be
Roll
bad.
your climb check.
Yeah.
And don't get a 3.
How about a natural 20?
Oh, boy. Had a boy.
Yeah.
the climbing champion. Okay, you swing over and are just climbing up it without your legs because you're just showing off your natural 20 abilities.
I don't need no
Satisfaction.
arm wrestling to prove my
That's right.
my brawn.
Your manliness.
Yeah, just
you
do
get
it
to
by
the
yourself
top
when no
of
one
this.
sees it.
You get to the top of this wall, and there is. When you get there, you can see that the like walkway, that would have been up here on this wall, like the defensible space, has collapsed away along with that inner wall and created almost like a shale field that slides down into a courtyard. And looking into the courtyard, the first thing you see is that there's a gallows erected, like an old gallows, and there are 5 bodies just hanging, like the remains of whatever, like the skeletons hanging on this gallows. And then the rest of the courtyard, let me give you a little description really quick. You can see like the last bits of whatever clothing was on them are lying in heaps beneath them. There's scattering of discarded weapons, bits of armor, tack and harness, all sorts of various items lay about the courtyard as if the keep had been ransacked at one point and the remains are left in the yard. You can see a jousting quintain hanging at a strange angle, and a track that's still clear even if it's overgrown, as well as a pile of training lances stacked up like firewood. And at some point, there was a flower garden here that surrendered to chaos with overgrown hedges and statues of beautiful women hidden in the coiling greenery. Okay. You also notice that Bertha, the stone that she's holding on, right where the rope cuts across, you can see that there's this raven nest, and there's just like hella shiny cool stuff in it.
Hell yeah, there is.
Like just a whole bunch of random items of cool curiosity
I
here.
do as the ravens do. Shinies?
Yes.
And you do a quick search.
Yeah,
Quick
if that's
grab.
all right.
Yeah, because it's so late, let's save the rolls for that next time. Can
Yeah.
we do that?
Yeah.
But just put down that you found a raven nest, and I'll give you all the trinkets and wealth that was stashed there.
Will you remind me of that, Zach, when I forget?
What?
Inevitably.
Oh, John's yawned 3 times. That
Yeah.
means we're almost done.
So
14 minutes in you? Or are we done? Do we need to end?
Go for it.
So what I would like to do is sons of bitches.
They're mad because you're in their nest, bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr.
Can I
Alice.
move away? Like, is there like a way to get away from the nest?
Yeah.
I'm going to move away from the nest and pull Bertha with me.
All right. You just robbed a raven family, but it's okay. Because you took all their nest trinkets, I'm assuming.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did say that, but I put one back. Who gives a shit?
Okay. Just a copper.
Just a copper out of my own coffers.
Nice. Coppers.
Yeah. Or if it came close enough.
John can't stop.
You just ruined my yawn.
He's over there yawning. He's just like, oh,
Yanni.
I'm so bored and tired.
I told you that my baby didn't let me sleep, right?
Oh.
So I'm gonna see just inside this courtyard, and so I'm gonna roll if that's okay to roll a search check.
Yeah. What are you looking for?
Big giant birds that kill people.
Oh, like
Mostly.
murder ravens.
Murder ravens. Something
You're looking for a big monster creature
Yeah,
that could
and
take
then-
somebody away.
and if there would be a path down on the shale that would be quiet-ish. The intent is to like set up a way for people to get across, not on the drawbridge to come up. So see if there's
You're
where
looking
we
for
could,
like a place to cross.
yeah, and then I tie off the rope and have people
Great.
come across the moat that way. So
Great. No, that's awesome. So
Reverse
it
zip
doesn't
line.
take you very long, 15 minutes. You find that there is the ruin of a building that was on the outside of the moat that has like fallen and leaned across the moat. And then all the ivy and tree growth and everything else has created like kind of a natural way to climb up and get over. So you're able to indicate to the group like where to go to get over into the.
I follow LS.
Okay, great.
throw Bertha over. I'm like, don't touch the end.
Or smell it.
Yeah.
It's all sticky.
Oh man.
So that it's just So we have a setup so we can get away if we need to, and then
like Funyuns.
there's something if the path were to collapse
Nice.
across or make a lot of noise, somebody could hold the rope as like a safety line,
Got it.
Sweet.
Sounds good. Cool.
so that
Okay.
the dogs can make it across there. I guess.
The dogs. Well, they're not climbing the rope across because there is a building laying, so you're able to like climb up and get over. The dogs, there's a chance they could get over. Let's roll a percentage and just see if they come along.
It depends on how attracted they are to.
The dogs aren't as beautiful
want
as
me to roll?
John's dog, but whatever. Yeah.
40.
Okay, the dogs don't make it across.
Okay.
But Hugh does.
Yeah.
Bye, dumb dogs.
But they're on the other side of the moat, kind of like, prowling and sniffing and growling.
Oh,
they don't
shit.
like it.
I forgot Jake.
You could have rode him this whole way.
You could have been, yeah.
We left all the horses, Mac.
Shut up, Tibbets.
Why are we being so cross at each other?
I don't like you.
You don't like Tibbets?
Nope. He likes me.
All right, so let's move forward. Let's see what's going on.
A long
with this.
time this castle's been destroyed.
Yeah, there.
Does look old. As you're looking around, you do see that there's like a coat of arms that is on like a few of the old musty things. You know what I mean? Like you're seeing this coat of arms. Let me share my screen just so you can see it really quick.
Please let it be Baltimore Ravens.
It's just a Baltimore Ravens. Oh, that would be
Do you have
amazing.
your view thing on there? Oh, no. I guess we could see it here.
Yeah, do you just see this? This is what it looks like.
I don't think there's any connection to the Ravens.
White field, Zach. 2 ravens up top, 1 raven down below, and a black chevron.
Oh, do you want? You can't see it. I can change it
No,
off
it's
of
okay.
me.
You're okay. It's fine. It's fine.
I described it beautifully.
You did.
Also, the ravens aren't flying, they're standing.
So, Chad, for the bodies that have been hanging from the gallows, are they old bodies or new bodies?
So old.
They're so old.
There's bones.
They're so
It's
old.
not the raw. They smell fine.
At this point where you're like climbing across the moat and looking down at things, you can see that the moat is like filled with fallen trees and overgrown. There's some stagnant water pools that you can actually, as the cool of the morning is starting, as it's kind of pre-dawn but getting lighter, you can like hear and see the insects like dragonflies and biting bugs and things. And there's just the smell of rot. You notice down in the moat, there's a sort of fresh corpse of a deer that's floating and bloated in one of the pools. But overall, most of the stone is covered in crawling ivy, and it disguises much of the crumbling keep.
So the way
And much is hidden behind ancient boughs of tall hardwood trees. Okay.
So the way that I kind of look at it, I'm kind of talking quietly, is we have 2 options. We can run in to see if we can't help gentle, or we could take it real slow and real careful. Which way do you guys want to go?
Boring.
Let's run in and see if we can save this man.
Do you see that man? You see that Hugh is pointing down into the courtyard, back behind the gallows, over where you would assume is maybe the door, like kind of a grand door into the main body of the keep. You can see that there is a figure that looks like it has a black cape and it's wearing armor and it's just standing with its back to you. Almost like it's looking at the keep. You know what I mean? Like just standing like a soldier would. But like the cape is moving gently in like the wind that's coming through, the little breeze. And you notice that on the right hand of this figure, it looks like some kind of small metal work that's maybe 4 feet tall that you can't really make out what it is, but it looks like it's glass and metal, almost like a cylinder. And you see it has his hand on it.
Pickles.
Everything's pickles in this episode.
Pickles all the way down.
The cape's new, right? It's not like an old tapestry.
No, the cape that he's wearing looks like weather stained and just like disintegrating and everything else. But the thing that makes it weird is like it's somebody standing there. Either that or it's a statue. Maybe it's a suit of armor that's just like how they'll have like in a hallway you'd have a standing suit of armor. But it looks like that. But you see that Hugh is pretty convinced that it's somebody, right?
Somebody.
And he's like, watch. He's like, I think it's moved. He's like really keened in on it.
I'd keep an eye on it.
Roll a sense motive.
10.
14.
2000.
17.
Okay. You're watching, and you think it might just be a trick of the dimness of the area, because it's dim, and you're looking across this courtyard. It's pretty big, You're looking about a football field away. Mm-hmm. And the fact that the fabric is moving in the wind might be just tricking the eye. But something does upset you, Ellis. You notice that the gallows, you were sure that there were 5. There's only 4 on the gallows now. Like 4 bodies. And you're having that moment of like kind of like a weird, like...
How far away are the gallows from us?
They're between you and this
so
figure. So like 50-yard line.
Okay.
Like you're maybe going to try to kick a field goal, but...
I think I'm going to go for 2.
Lowest sense motive sees the most. Just kidding.
So I could have sworn that there were 5 when I got up here, but it only looks like there's 4 of those little guys hanging. So what I'm going to do is try and make it down. See if I can get closer to see if there's any kind of weirdness.
Are there 5 ropes? Chad?
Yes.
So there's 4 bodies, 5 ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but these are old bodies. You never know.
It's very spooky.
I'm going to head down and see what I can find out. Will you guys cover me?
You guys at this moment can see that over across the courtyard there is a collapsed stable. There's a completely collapsed stable that's there. It was made of wood at some point. It was probably big and grand. It's like some stones or boulder, like pieces that broke off of the keep or off of one of the turrets above, have fallen and smashed through it. But you can see that the wood is all blackened, like it burned at one point, like that sort of thing. And you notice, no tricks of the mind at this point, you notice that smoke, like almost like from a campfire, starts rising up out, like almost like it's starting to wake up, like a fire is waking up within the stable.
I'm going to roll my knowledge arcana to see if I have heard of something like this, or if this is, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If there's like an old wizard's tale. I don't know. 20. Unnatural. It seems unnatural. Science-y.
Yeah, there has to be a scientific explanation.
Yeah.
But you're not sure. That there are some... that there are some reasons why a fire could start. It seems really weird that it would all of a sudden be waking up out of this, ruin. But you do know there are creatures that smoke. Like, not like...
Lot lizard.
To look cool.
Not a lot lizards. Or like skateboarder kids. And you vape.
Cool shit.
Mm-hmm. But you don't see anything that's a creature. It's just like kind of almost coming out of the cracks and the seams of this old stable.
Well,
let's go find Gentle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head down to.
We just walk in.
Yeah.
Okay. You see that you pass Hugh as you start to go down in, and you see that Hugh kind of gathers himself and comes with you. And Virgil draws his sword and starts to walk down in through the ruins. Okay. Now, at this point, as you're walking across this open courtyard area, you can start to hear the sounds of your footsteps echoing off of the ruin around you. You notice that the smoke is getting more, and you hear like a, and it swells a little, like a, as you're getting closer. And then you see red flame start to come up out of the cracks of that area. And at this point, you look back and can see that the standing knight has now turned to face you, and his face is just skull. But he's in full mail.
Uh-oh.
And he's standing now with his hand still on this cylinder.
Jar of pickles.
But yeah, this jar of pickles. But you can see that now he's facing you in your direction.
Wow.
Now you can hear a like that breath again.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly the ruin of the stable just erupts outward and wood flies like flies out. Roll a reflex save.
Oh shit.
It's not a good one.
Guess I'm dead. 10.
10. Okay.
Don't worry, guys. I'm a rogue.
8.
Okay.
17.
2 17s in a row. You roll one more 17, game's over.
Gotcha.
Remember? Okay, somebody roll a d20 for Tibbets, please.
I'm on it. 11.
Okay.
And what about
And then
Wolf?
roll for Hugh.
17.
Whoa.
I'm glad it wasn't you. That almost blew up the whole game. We have to delete everything if it happens. 3 in a row.
Go delete all the recordings.
No, we have to delete it just to be safe. Okay. This is what goes down. So the shards fly out. Okay. You can hear some of the heavier beams like hitting and like rolling in such a way that it's scary. It's like that primal, like, oh crap, something huge is moving by me. But you're mostly just peppered with like smaller piece of like burning brands, you know? Mac, you take just 2 damage just from getting hit with a good sized beam that's on fire. You don't catch on fire or anything. It just kind of bludgeons you and falls off. Right. The rest of you, it was small enough debris that it doesn't hurt you, but it just startles you. Okay. But you, after you hear that eruption of fire, you can hear the sound of hoofs on the stone. And you see this flaming horse ride over to the knight, and he rides on top of it. Like he gets onto the steed. And then you see that as he turns, he like reaches down somewhere you're not able to see and comes up with a lance, like out of nowhere. It seems to like appear and formulate itself. And he turns out by that jousting quintain and charges you. Roll initiative.